We've all heard about the brand new Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, also known as the company's first flagship phone equipped with a 200-megapixel camera and other significant advancements in terms of photography and videography. Some of you, however, who are currently using the S21 or S22 may be wondering whether upgrading to the S23 is actually worthwhile. Now, we could just babble on, lay out all of their specifications and compare them that way, but we've decided to take all three phones and conduct a little test. So, without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, we're gonna use this flower as a test subject for the camera's macro shooting abilities to assess the amount of detail they're able to capture. The Galaxy S23 Ultra's back camera system is completed with a 12-megapixel ultra-wide sensor, two 10-megapixel sensors with a 10x and 3x optical zoom, and the new 200-megapixel primary sensor. So as we can see, when it comes to the S23, it shoots photographs with a warmer color tone as compared to the S21 and S22. The details really pop and the overall dynamics are handled better in comparison to the S21 and S22. Next, the front camera, or what most of us refer to as the selfie camera, will be put to the test. For the S23, Samsung replaced the 40-megapixel front-facing selfie camera with a 12-megapixel model. The upgrade includes dual-pixel technology, which offers improvements for depth estimation in portrait photographs and low-light performances, even if the megapixel count is smaller. Super HDR for photographs and video is another feature Samsung added to the front camera to enable the phone to take excellent pictures in both bright and low-light conditions. And these selfies we've taken definitely serve as confirmation. Both the S21 and S22 perform remarkably similar when it comes to taking selfies. These phones include many details and pick real skin tones. The S22 produces a brighter image of the face in this selfie example, but we value the S23 selfie's higher degree of detail. We will now evaluate the portrait mode delivery on each phone. We had to test it out because Samsung made a point about better depth mapping during the S23 series presentation, making an oddly specific reference to glasses. And of course, the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra can easily capture outstanding portrait photographs. The camera's autofocus did a great job successfully capturing the decisive moment in the scene. Skin tones were accurately portrayed, and the S23 Ultra, of course, was able to maintain the scene's original color ambiance. Nonetheless, the S22 naturally produces better portrait-oriented images than the S21. Subject and background are differentiated with greater clarity, and the phone can even recognize individual hair strands. Now, of course, we had to test out its night imagery capabilities. And with essentially 16 times more information than a conventional 12-megapixel smartphone photo, the S23 Ultra's night shots are magnificent to say the least. In under low-light situations, there's noticeably less distortion around the edges of the subject, with more detail on textures found on the buildings. Images taken with the Galaxy S21 in low-light situations show more noise and less details compared to the photographs taken with the Galaxy S22, and lens flare was also a problem. And last but definitely not least, while we're still on the subject of night photography, we decided to test out how the phones would handle contrasting lights during nighttime. But to no one's surprise, the S23 Ultra's excellent exposure and wide dynamic range allowed it to catch every detail in the frame's highlights and shadows in low light. The S23 nonetheless produced stunning color overall in low light, despite Samsung's decision to preserve some of the ambiance produced by warm, dim light sources. And of course, the S22 took photos that were generally clearer, brighter, and crisper than the S21 during our testing. Well, we've put the phone through 5 different tests, and it's safe to say that the S23 has won every category. They gave you the facts, and we gave you the demonstration to back them up. We can now say the Galaxy S23 Ultra has without a doubt made major upgrades in terms of its camera. So if you're interested in upping your photography game, then visit Samsung's official website that can be found in the description below to purchase the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra and take only professional level photos. I'm Danny. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.